Hey everyone, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to be talking about the three big things that I do to help me keep my gratitude levels up. This is something that I've worked on a lot in my life, and I think it's absolutely crucial, especially when you're going through a rough time or you're going through a period of your life that just feels so long and so boring and so blah. Like I feel like I'm kind of going through that a little bit, honestly. But doing these three things helps me a lot to just see a little bit more joy in each day, a little bit more light, and a little bit more hope, and just to be a little more excited about things. So we're gonna be going through those three things: the gratitude dives, the gratitude flushes, and the five things from the day. As always, the podcast is helpful for you building your self care and building your understanding of yourself, helping you build your relationship with yourself. Definitely hit that follow button. We're all about that. With that all said, let's get into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about is gratitude dives. I came up with this concept back in like 2018 or 19, or maybe it was 2020. In any case, the concept of a gratitude dive is to help you dive into one specific part of your life that you're really thankful for, or some really small thing, as powerfully and as quickly as possible. So set a timer for 10 minutes. Choose one thing that you are going to write about. And usually, what I do is I have D, D, which is my Dallon's definition. So, first you define the thing, and then you go on dictionary.com or whatever and find the dictionary definition. Then, after you've done those two things, you just go ham, write as much as you can about that thing. Go as deep as you can, as broad as you can. Well, no, just go deep and just kind of like explore all the options, all the reasons why you love that thing. So one thing I made a one about that really struck me was scissors. And so I got the definition of my definition of scissors, and it's really interesting I find to like define things and see what you think of them, because I was writing down like how it's really important to be able to cut things out of your life, and how I wasn't very good with scissors when I was in kindergarten because I was a lefty and I didn't really embrace the lefty lifestyle as much as I do now. Things happen, things change. But honestly, it's something that's helped me a lot. Today, I did a gratitude dive about my depressive episodes. I had some decently big ones earlier in college, especially my first semester, and even this semester. I've had some because of the struggle and because of like sort of hitting my head against the wall over and over, metaphorically. Like it seems like nothing is happening. And nothing's happening because I'm not really doing anything. And so it's just this cycle, and then I have classes and stuff and other struggles and whatever, and it's just been a little bit of a struggle. So there's been some depression, and that was not something I planned on this semester, but it happened. And I've learned to show gratitude for those things because you learn so much from them, because you see like I see like how I really want to be in charge of my life, like at least be able to plan things out and not have to worry about things coming up out of nowhere or things outside of my control. I mean, there's always going to be things outside of your control, but gratitude dives really highly recommended. I'm going to have links to all this stuff in the show notes so you can do this for yourself. We're going to have this be a quick episode, more quick than the last one anyway, so you can get right into it during your Thanksgiving season. The next thing is gratitude flushes. This is very similar to gratitude dives. However, it's the opposite. So you go as deep as you can into that one thing, and you write about, first you write a little bit about it, and then you write about what it would be like if you didn't have that thing. So I wrote gratitude flushes about not having my family and not having those depressive episodes. And it really gets you to think about life like, man, if all of my family was all of a sudden gone, how would that change my life? And it gets you to kind of get outside of your label a little bit, because you get to see, whoa, what would it be like, right? And it's super crazy, super weird. And I honestly haven't done that many gratitude flushes, but I did a couple today, and I was like, okay, this really is powerful. I need to do more of these, so I'm gonna commit to doing more of those again. But I've probably done around 30 or so gratitude dives, so done a lot of those. So I would definitely recommend doing a gratitude flush just to kind of help you see how life could be much different if things were different. And it helps you to like kind of appreciate different things. Like I'm planning to do a gratitude flush about starting this podcast and about, other things like that, just to help me have more gratitude and help me have more appreciation. Because when you really appreciate something more, you tend to treat it differently and to not treat it carelessly. And that's very important to learn to do that because life is so precious. I mean, this year 2021 has flown by so fast. So it really helps to take advantage of those little moments and appreciate the little good things from each day. Speaking of appreciating the little good things from each day, lately I've been writing down like 5 really awesome things that happened from the day, or some, or just fill in a different adjective like funny things or interesting things or inspiring things. And this helps me a lot, and it's kind of a little bit of a journaling hack because you don't have to write a ton about each thing. You just write down some of those things that really helped you out that day. And this helps me a ton with being able to see like, okay, I really did have some really good things happen today. And let's remember those, let's focus on those. So when I go back through my journal, I can see, oh, this person got me a salad today and I was really struggling. You know, shout out to Elijah who got me a salad earlier this semester when I was having a really rough day. I really appreciate that, bro. But anyway, you have these things written down and it helps you to just kind of appreciate it, appreciate little aspects of your life that are easy to overlook. And it just is memorable too. And it really helps you a lot with going through the next day because you get to see, and you're looking a little bit more for it. You just get in that habit of looking for something. This is something that's been on my mind a lot recently. If you become a professional in like any field, you start to see all that stuff much differently because you have a trained eye for it. My brain is very, very, very accustomed with coming out of metaphors, analogies, stories, poems out of nowhere when I'm just walking around. Some other people, maybe it's music, although I'd like to get into music. Other people, maybe it's like how to improve their car. So like if you expose yourself to these things, gratitude, for example, it'll just kind of spill into all the areas of your life and it'll help a lot. So write down 5 things from the day. That's something that helps me a lot too. With that all said, we've completed the episode, and I'm definitely having a interesting Thanksgiving break. I was going to go back to my cousin's, but I ended up just staying here because it snowed, and it's been a little bit crazy. But we're making this podcast episode, and it's been good. We're bouncing back, and I've gotten all my homework done for that. So it's really interesting. You have to be able to decide, what does success look like? Because if you don't, you're going to go in 50 million directions and just not be satisfied. And I felt that so many times, I don't even have a word for it, but that's okay. Because as long as you're learning from it and trying new things, you're good. You're good to go. Keep learning, keep learning. So with that all said, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a good rest of your Thanksgiving. Thank you as always for listening. Don't forget to yield today, and it'll be a groovy. No, it'll be a better tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be groovy too, but don't forget to yield today, and it'll be a better tomorrow. Be a groovy tomorrow.